Hello, entrepreneurs. So here we are with Liz Gilliam of E616 Consulting talking about her business and her PR objectives. I'm Brian Lockery, lead publicist at ClearCut PR, and we're on a mission to get brilliant, hardworking entrepreneurs the publicity that they deserve. How are you, Liz?
I'm good. Thanks for having me, Brian.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. I'm so glad that you agreed to speak with me about this too. Since we were having that conversation earlier in the week, and
Mhm.
you kind of dropped some truth bomb on me, some honesty, the kind of honesty that I'm actually looking for when I speak with most entrepreneurs. And here was the question that Liz said to me. Liz, why don't you, before we get to that, why don't you tell anyone who might be listening a little bit about E616 Consulting, what you do?
Yeah, so E616 Consulting is a personal care and strategy brand specifically for Black women. And what makes us different is that we, number one, are focused specifically on Black women and non-men, but we also heavily lean on the Marvel Cinematic Universe for how we teach all of our content and all of our things like that. So we kind of bring it all back to Marvel. We started off as an education consulting firm where we worked with teachers through the lens and the practice of Marvel. And we've kind of just kept that going. And so now we're kind of focusing on Black women because as a fan group, we're often overlooked unless it is music or things like that. And so, but we're out here and we are a rich part of the fandom. And so it gives us not only a place to connect, but a way to connect what we enjoy to how we live our lives and what we need to do with that.
That's great. And why don't you give everybody an example, like one of the examples that you gave me of how you use the Marvel fandom to connect with your audience?
Yeah, so we're cooking up some pretty cool stuff for Black women coming up to end the year so that we can start strategically planning for January. But one of the things that we did last year is we created something called Marvel for the Marginalized for teachers. And we had an entire series where we used Marvel characters and Marvel storylines to make things make sense to teachers. So we used Groot to help teachers think about in different ways their students who are learners of English as a second language. We used Loki to help them reframe how they think of their more challenging students. We used Shield to give teachers a chance to reframe how they see themselves as a support system for their students. Because the reason we've named the company E616 is it's got to do with Earth 616 in Marvel. And that is a world where that's the world we know. That's where all the heroes are. And all of the things about Marvel heroes is that they're just regular people who have had that right push into heroism. And we feel like with the right push, everybody can be that hero that they need to be for themselves. And so what we focus on is taking the stories you know and love and not asking you to put yourself into those stories, but asking you to use the stories that you know and love and then see how those characters persevered and then use that as kind of fuel to move forward for yourself.
Yeah, it's really powerful. And I talk to a lot of business owners about their differentiators, and that's the reason that we're talking today too. And mind you, this is not something we do. We don't have a podcast. I don't have a show. I don't do this. But what you said to me was so powerful. I had to chat with you about it this way. I can share it with everybody because I think everybody that's is asking themselves this question as well.
Mm-hmm.
So working with you and your business and having this differentiator that you have is amazing in your industry, and I'm really excited to be working with you. Um, but what's the question that you asked me that the reason why we're here today? What was that question?
Yeah. The first thing I wanted to know, and my first concern that I said to you, Brian, was I don't even know if my company's big enough for PR. And I wanted to get that out of the way early because I don't want to waste your time. I don't want to, if I am, I'm this small company, I'm a small entrepreneur. I've got a team of two or three now, two outside of me. We're tiny, and if we're not big enough yet for PR, then we can just end this call right now. So I wanted to ask you that early on so that I would, know what I needed to do to get there or, you know, see what we needed to do to keep moving where we are.
Yeah. And that drove me back because it hit me hard because I know that there's so many people asking about this.
Yeah.
And the answer to me is so obvious. Am I big enough, or is my brand big enough for PR? Is not a metric of how much revenue you've done. It's there's no metric for that to see if you're actually ready for PR. Yes, you are ready for PR. And the answer is because what you're doing is so different out there and so impactful that people need to read about it. And that's the very reason why PR exists, why publicity exists, for people to read about things that they're not either development about something that's happening every day, or to read about something different that somebody's out there doing. And especially entrepreneurs. We love entrepreneurs. I love
Mhm.
getting publicity for entrepreneurs that are out there doing something different. And while the answer to me was such an obvious yes, because what you're doing is so different and so helpful to other people out there, I feel like there's so many entrepreneurs that are asking themselves the same question and not really sure, and then they may have the next best thing that people need to hear about. So
Yep.
it's a huge obvious yes for me, and I wanted other people to hear about it, and I wanted them to see you and how amazing your business is, and to know that even somebody that has such an amazing business as you is still asking themselves that question.
Yeah, it was just, and I know that we need to get out there and we need to be seen. And it wasn't just a revenue question when I was asking, but it was also like, our digital footprint is not huge. It's not giant. We've got a Facebook page, we've got an Instagram page, we've got a Facebook group, we've got a website, we've got a podcast. So we have a lot of things, but it's still largely our warm audience.
Mm.
And I want us to expand into people that we don't know. And I wasn't sure how to do that. So this seemed like the perfect call to have with you to find out if we were ready to take that step to, make it to where we needed to go with PR. So yeah, I totally wanted to get that out of the way early, because if we weren't ready, I didn't want to keep you on the phone. but I was glad that I asked, and I'm glad that we had the talk that we had, because it's given me a renewed vision in where my company can go now, and then especially starting in the next year. Like, it's really exciting to imagine what could happen now.
And I'm so glad that you asked as well too, and I'm so glad that you brought up those things, and you specifically mentioned one of the three pillars that we tell everyone, which is your digital footprint. You have your Instagram, you have your social media,
Mhm.
and you have a website out there, right?
Yeah,
What's that website? Tell everybody.
it's e616consulting.com. But honestly, I did the evaluator that you gave me, and it's not ready. So maybe don't go there yet, guys.
That's what we're here for.
Yeah.
But the really cool thing about that is the fact that you actually have it out there, and then you have a social media. So that's one of the things we speak about, is that when we work together and then I go and I pitch you to a journalist, the first thing they're going to do before they even tell me that they're interested in you is they're going to go to your social media, they're going to go to your website, and you have those three things already, right?
Yep.
And those three, so the journalist will start checking these boxes and saying like, okay, this person is doing the things they're supposed to do. They're worthy of writing about in their mind. I already know.
Sure.
But the other part of that for you is exactly what we're doing with the PR too, because the other half of what we do isn't just getting you the PR. Any PR firm, that's your job as a PR firm, is to get you the publicity. But what we're doing and why we're working with the entrepreneurs is to hook that publicity into the upper level of your funnel, which is your awareness. Now, for most people, that means your social media telling them, or your warm audience, or your website, or your ads if you happen to be doing ads. Now, I just have this little visual over here. This is just as a visual for a sales funnel. That's where they're hearing about you, is awareness. Now, what we like to do is we like to take this awareness and we like to put it as awareness/credibility. We want them to hear about your company from either a press release or publicity. This way, your conversion rates, which usually go down the funnel over here, usually you have to go through a couple levels before you get to the point where you're allowed to
Exactly.
somebody
Yep.
and you're allowed to pitch them your product, and the apprehension comes away and they go, yes, I do trust this business. Well, we're removing that, right? We're putting this at the top of the funnel, because if they heard about you from a well-known top tier news, now they have awareness plus credibility right at the top of the funnel, which means more conversions all the way down the line until
Yes.
they start working with you, or in your case, hopefully spreading the word about you as well too.
Mhm.
being an ambassador for you, for your brands, and identifying with things that you're doing.
Yeah.
So, coming back to that main question, it's not a matter of, oh, you know, am I big enough? Is what I'm doing different in my industry? And that's really the question that they should be asking, rather than am I big enough, or anything like that. Is do I have a major differentiator in my industry that people should hear about, or am I just doing everything like everybody else? And if you do have that differentiator, yes, you are ready for PR. And in fact, I want to scream about it from a mountaintop because I love it so much.
Yeah, I'm excited. I am excited about what this could mean and where we could go. And it's also making me tighten up the bottom parts of the funnel, because I know once we get that credibility out there and the conversions are going to keep coming, I want things to keep moving. I want us to keep going. And then I want to have to ask the question anymore. Are we small? Are we big enough for PR?
Yeah.
Yep.
And we're going to help out with that too, right? We're going to give you strategies in that funnel, because now this is not a funnel that most people are used to. They're used to awareness from like a cold audience or a warm audience through whatever it is. So now that we've changed the top level of your funnel to awareness / credibility, all at the same stage, well, now your communication changes at each step of the funnel, right? Because now what you're doing is now you're speaking to them from a much more credible standpoint.
Yeah.
So you're not trying to pitch them credibility anymore. Now you get to speak to them on a little bit more of an advanced, developed level, and working your way down to the bottom of that funnel, which is now a really solid close that's had credibility at every single stage.
I'm ready. I love it. I'm ready to do it.
Well, listen, we're going to do it. We're going to get it done. And I'm happy that we were able to talk about this. And hopefully I can share this with people, and people will get some value out of this as well too. And just know that we're here for it. We're here for all of it. We want to help out, whether we're paid or not. We love entrepreneurs. We love talking about PR. We love talking about the strategies for it.
Yes. Y'all got to listen to Ryan and work with him. Call him, email him, reach out to him, because it is worth it to, even if you yourself as the entrepreneur are not ready, it is worth it to have this person who knows what he's talking about and who does care for entrepreneurs to give you that time and that space. And you would honestly probably be surprised at what you could do and what you can and what you are ready to do right now. So definitely reach out to Brian.
Oh my God. Thank you. Thank you, Liz, so much. Thank you for the kind words. Thank you for saying that.
Yeah.
Liz Gilliam of E616 Consulting, and I'm Brian Lockery, and we're on a mission to get brilliant, hardworking entrepreneurs the publicity that they deserve.